to Sloop John Island, and welcome to the first episode ever of the SuBURBS. I'm this old gamer, and I'm thrilled to have you along for the ride today, as we're all set for episode 1 of this series. We have a fresh little area of land over here, a nice little piece of land that we are going to, well, we're just going to get started now. First off, about 5 minutes of this video at the very beginning, I had to cut out. For some reason, my video recorder was not working properly, but you didn't miss much. Just kind of built this suburban road boulevard coming off of that roundabout there. Now, the roundabout was part of this map. This is Two Brothers Island by SuBURBS, and I'm keeping that roundabout in place for now. Not sure exactly how that's going to work once the population grows in this area. Generally speaking, I don't use roundabouts all that often in my maps. This is an American map. Roundabouts, although there are roundabouts in America, they're not as common as they are in Europe and other parts of the world. But I'm going to keep it in place for now, and we'll just kind of see how things go. So we are kind of just laying down a grid. We have a unique opportunity here. We are right by this mountain chain, and this is a beautiful map. Lots of mountains, lots of detail on these mountains, and I don't really want to mess with these mountains too much, but I am going to kind of flatten out some areas in the mountains just to allow some housing to go up there. So we're just kind of setting this grid up. I'm trying to keep this main boulevard to be nice and wide. It's going to go all the way over here, over by our dam, and close to the forest industry. If you missed my forest industry series, all 3 episodes are on my channel. Click the link there if you would like to have some hilarity. It was one of my first series. Don't judge me. Now, this railroad track was also built into the map, and it just kind of ended right here. Now, I'm not going to do too much with this today, but I am kind of extending it because I do plan on actually having a railroad track go through here and having a train depot. And then at some point, I'm going to have to make a decision of how this is going to connect to downtown. I don't want this suburban area to be completely disconnected from downtown. We do have the bridge that connects it via interstate, but I do want to have some sort of way to get there via public transportation, and the train is what makes the most sense. I kind of debated on possibly trying a way to get the tram that runs through downtown to come over here, but I don't really want to start having tram roads and everything. I want these roads to be very basic and just be set up for a typical suburban neighborhood. I'm kind of using this slope segments here to the slope smoother, I should say, to start running this in a downward direction. My first idea, and we'll see how it works, I'll have to play around with it, is to actually have a tunnel that goes underneath that road and through the mountains and basically goes underneath the ocean. We'll see how that works. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but we'll see. Now, this boulevard here, we're just going to kind of run parallel with this train track. You see there is a divide on that train. That is to allow us to have a large depot. But this road here is going to serve kind of as a business district, I guess, of the suburbs. So you're going to have your groceries and places like that along that strip. But in the typical American suburb fashion, we're going to come right off of this boulevard and have some roads to have houses on as well. This portion of this grid is going to be very curvy, not traditional, not just a perfect square grid. We're going to have lots of curves and stuff like that. We're going to bring this road over here closer to the interstate, and then we'll decide what we want to do. We might put an interchange over there as well, a smaller interchange, or we might just take that boulevard and go over the interstate onto the other side. Again, we're just mixing up the road usage, so trying to find the perfect roads. We have these UK roads, which are very skinny roads. Here I just kind of threw down a house just to make sure that it would fit correctly. I'm kind of working around it just to make sure that people have room for a backyard. We're going to have different types of houses over here. For the most part, it will be just neighborhoods and yards and houses, but there'll be a few apartments along the way as well. But I am going to kind of try to stay away from any kind of high rises. It's all going to be relatively short residential buildings, I guess you could say. Nothing that is going to stick out too much. But again, just some curvy, windy roads. Getting a little crazy here with this one. But this will allow us to have all sorts of little nooks and crannies where we can squeeze in as many human beings as possible, just like real suburbs. So coming off this little road here, we kind of got another little junction to make. Again, we're going to take that large boulevard and probably go... Oh, my chair just made a popping noise, sorry. We're probably going to go over the interstate with that boulevard. I'm not exactly sure. I might have a connection and might have an entrance and an exit, at least going toward the downtown lanes. I haven't really decided just yet. So over here, this is where I'm going to do a little detailing of the roads, I guess you could say. First off, I'm going to adjust these lights momentarily. A little bit too many street lights here for my liking. But we're going to actually start bringing these roads into the mountains, so to speak. So these little flat areas that are between the mountains, we're actually going to bring the roads up into it just like this. Then we're going to use our terraforming just to make sure that we can actually put some houses up there. If somehow terraforming survived from the Downtown series, my favorite 1980s rock band. Kind of guar ripoffs, if you ask me, but nobody did. These are going to be a little bit more expensive houses, a little bit higher wealth citizens that live up here in these beautiful places for a house to be built, surrounded by the mountains. Must be really nice, crisp air up there. There is a ton of nice low residential assets on the workshop, and kind of, you know, looking at some houses. Been house shopping basically on the workshop. If you know of any great house assets and collections, let me know. Leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know which ones that you like to use. Like I said, there are a lot of them out there, but the workshop is ginormous. You're not going to necessarily see them all. I try to search by popular ones from the last 3 months, 6 months, 1 week, whatever, just to kind of see. I don't like doing the most popular all time, because then you're going to get a lot of the ones that everybody uses, and I'm trying to do something a little bit different. Now you can see this part of the suburbs over here is just a bunch of windy roads and things like that. Here we're making the incline to head up into the dam area, and that'll be a place that we work on in a later episode. And we're kind of flattening this out. So there's gonna be lots of little hills and things like that, but that's kind of what I want in this portion of it. We'll do more of a grid as we get closer out to the beach side and the ocean. That will be more of just your stereotypical grid. Now this is a UK road that actually has like bushes and trees and stuff built in. I really like the looks of this road in particular. It kind of looks like a fancy driveway versus an actual road, which might end up being what this is up here. This would be a very nice place to live, so we're going to probably put some very, very large houses up here. Maybe just 2 or 3, not a bunch. We'll kind of flatten this out so they'll have a nice little overlook at the base of this mountain. Tidai has made a bunch of good maps, and I've been scoping out future maps. Been kind of wanting to play around with some other maps. I think that if I do start a completely different map, it is not going to be anything to do. I want to get out of the tropical areas. I want to do more of a land base, maybe with rivers. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, I think I want to stay away from the oceans next time around. Not that I don't like the oceans, but I want to do something a little bit different. So I'm kind of converting some of these roads over to those UK roads. I really like the looks of those. And again, those will be for some larger houses. It looks pretty good thus far. Plenty of room for the depot when we get to that point. We'll probably be editing some of the roads around that to make it more easy accessibility to get to that depot. I also want to do a lot of bike lanes and things like that. Not so sure if I'm going to do them in this part of the map, but I might do them closer to the ocean. I just want to do I want to do a lot of things different than downtown. I want it to be something that is completely different from how I did the infrastructure and grid downtown. So bike lanes, no tram. Possibly we'll have buses, but not many buses at all. It'll probably just be basically cars and bikes and things like that, but no crazy transportation. And I might also set some laws where we don't necessarily have like the well, I don't really want to turn off like the skyrise thing. It doesn't really matter as a detailer if you mess around with those, but nevertheless, I want to make this feel more like a suburb, more like the countryside. Now, this portion of it up here in the mountains, I don't think this is necessarily your typical suburb, but it will be a good place to have some very large houses. And that's kind of what I want to do. I really want to put some detail into the houses up here. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's convert those over. There we go. I really want to put some detail into the houses up here and really do something special with those, because obviously it's going to be a tremendous lookout. Now here I kind of want to bring this road around. Kind of one of those little back entrance type things. Kind of like this was the original road to get up there, and then the other road was built to have houses on. Maybe this was the original way to get up to the top, something like that. But I am excited about these, the possibilities of these little elevated lands to have some really nice houses on, do a lot of nice detailing. So that about does it for episode 1. Now on episode 2, we're going to extend the grid over toward the ocean side. We're also going to install our utilities, because right now the area is completely unlivable. There is no water or electricity. So we're going to find a way to get that all set up, possibly using that dam over there on the right to run some electricity over, and different things that our Sims need to make the suburbs a prosperous area. Well, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'm the SuBURBS Gamer. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.